Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Let's find out what you're going to be asking today, what's going to be the theme of the reading. I will let the cards tell us. And actually it will be driven by the oracle cards that I'm going to pull for each of the twins. We'll get more information with tarot, we'll get some advice, and of course we'll get some messages between the twins. Okay, let's see what we have for Divine Feminines today. And of course, don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to my channel, to leave a comment if you feel so inclined. This really helps me circulate this message with more people. I've been busy the last couple of days, preparing for a Halloween party. I restarted my baking season. That was good actually. Cooking is definitely one of my passions, and you know, with the pandemic and spending less time with other people, it definitely demotivated me from doing a lot of baking because, you know, you won't really be baking a cake or even a dozen of cupcakes for 1 or 2 people, right? So it was good to get back into that shape. So the feminines have got the card number 23. See through the perfectly purple lens of your galactic destiny. Yeah, so to me, this immediately speaks to seeing the bigger picture and really believing in yourself, if anything. Your galactic destiny. Remember that your destiny and the work you do here, well, the work that includes actually living your life, right? Your life on Earth has a galactic meaning behind it. Galactic mission, right? And galactic destiny. So never forget. We'll talk about it. What does it mean to have that kind of vision, right? Because we talk about these things a lot, but when it comes down to specific day-to-day activities, choices we make, people we spend time with, it gets harder to understand how to apply that big cosmic level idea into something that you do day in, day out, because that's just as important, right? That we don't forget about our earthly experiences, about being in the world, not like, you know, like the saying is being in the world but not of the world. It's kind of like that, but it's still important. It's kind of like part of the reason why you're here is to experience these earthly moments that people do, right? And of course you will have your purple lens of galactic destiny put on top of it, but both areas are equally important. And I'm getting this vision of like a cocktail drink, right? This magical mix of these ingredients is what's making you you, and something that's what's making your mission so magical and so special. For masculines, we have coming soon. We had this card for the feminines yesterday. That's interesting. Welcome to the next ascending age. So if any masculines felt bad about not getting the card that they are ascending to the next level, this is your card for today. Okay, so we'll talk about that. What does that ascension mean? I love these topics, honestly. I love both of this. I'm interested to actually get some information for myself, so let's get on with it. I'll be using my Souls on Fire deck for the main read, the pink deck, and then the clarifiers are going to be with the Light Seers deck. I almost forgot what it's called, but it's definitely one of my most widely used decks. It's definitely one of those decks that I'm going to get on a trip to Hawaii with me. Okay, so what do we need to understand for the feminines? What do we need to understand about this purple lens perspective of the galactic destiny? Seeing life through the purple lens of the galactic destiny. Wow, and we have Wheel of Fortune right away. And look at the colors. We have purple there, we have purple here. Love it. Anything else? Okay, and we got the Emperor that's also wearing purple. Okay, I'll take that. 2 major arcanas, by the way. By the way, okay, what do we have for the masculines? What does this ascension process mean for the masculines? What do the masculines need to understand about this next cycle, about leveling up? And we have them upside down, so I'm going to take them this way. Knight of Wands and Page of Cups. All right. Bottom of the deck, Death. So that's we're still in the Scorpio season, so this like a reminder, transformation continues. You know, it's like when you have some process where other people are not allowed to go in. For example, I don't know if a photographer is I don't know, working with the lens, for example, and it was a lens with the film, or an X-ray. The doctor is performing an X-ray scan or something, right? It's like there is like all this light that shines, like, you know, do not enter or something. So this is your light, is like transformation in progress. Something is cooking there for each of the twins, of course. So what I'm getting for the feminines with these cards is that definitely the feminines are becoming more aware of their own nature, their own abilities, the strong points, the weak points, and being able to use all of that information to your advantage and to experiencing this world to the fullest. What do I mean by that? Well, of course, it's easier to imagine when we talk about some skills, gifts, and talents, right? Like, I'm good at singing, I will, I don't know, join a choir, or maybe like these days you don't have to really do much in the physical world. You can start a YouTube channel maybe and do some of those singings for people, right? Especially if you're also writing songs, so you can do an interesting cover for an existing song. You can be a star with that, right? And this hopefully is something that's going to bring you joy, and you're like, yes, I know that I can sing, I understand it's important to pursue this, and I'm going to go for it. With the weaker points, it's a little bit harder because a lot of times, even if we realize that it's something negative that is part of us, and we all have our light and shadow, a lot of times by default we get ashamed of it or even scared, and we don't really want to even think about it. We don't even want to expose it to ourselves, not to mention to other people. So we're just trying to avoid that information as much as possible. Maybe take some precautions. Like, for example, if I know I'm just making an example, right? If I know I'm gonna be going into like a rage mode when I have a few drinks of alcohol, I'll stay away from drinking alcohol, right? It still means that you're kind of brushing the problem under the carpet, because there's definitely something there that's coming out during these moments when your body is in a more relaxed state, and it doesn't suppress these feelings anymore, right? It's just coming out of you. Of course, the good idea would be to look into the root cause of that rage and anger and work with that. But a lot of times, like, the best that people do is like, okay, I know I'm gonna be nasty to others, so I'm just not gonna drink, and we'll leave it at that, which is kind of like it's not bad, at least it's something, but it's not really solving the problem, really, right? It's just dealing with the symptoms a little bit, because, you know, today you understand that this is like the chain of events, right? I'm drinking alcohol, I become angry. Tomorrow you may become angry in another situation that has nothing to do with alcohol, and that is going to be hard to control it, right? The Emperor likes to control things, likes to know what's what, and to understand that they're in charge. It's also about me. So what I see here is that the Divine Feminine, so I see both of this in a very positive sign. Is this, the Wheel of Fortune, is the aspect that's telling Divine Feminine that whatever is coming your way is divinely guided, is destined for you. So if it's something good that comes in as an opportunity, take it. It means you're ready. If it comes your way, it's on your radar, it means you're ready. If it's something negative, it's helping you see like it's like a highlighter that helps you see something in a very bright color, like you cannot miss it anymore, what needs to be fixed, right? Like maybe in that example that I had with alcohol, maybe you've been staying away from it, but somehow you get talked into having 1 or 2 cocktails at a party, like a very special occasion, like you can't really miss it, you can't stay away from it. No. So you get talked into it, and then it shows you that side of you. And maybe you have an argument with someone, and then that part is kind of in the outcome, the negative outcome that you see, i.e. breaking a relationship with someone or severely damaging it, where you have to do a lot of follow-up to make things right, to mend it. Gets you into the understanding that it really needs to be looked at, that issue, because it's something that can let you down unexpectedly, right? At any time. It's like, it's one of those things where your emotions control you, right? And this is asking you, both of these cards, for you to be more in control of what's going on, rather than of your soul, your heart space, to be more in control, even more than your mind, but of course your mind as well, more than your feelings and emotions and some momentary reactions. This actually reminds me, because it looks like a clock to a certain extent. It's not really, but I remember there is this concept from an ancient philosophy where there is a point, like if you imagine a person like right in the middle, so imagine this is a clock, and the person is right in the middle of the clock, right? Ideally, this person is really right in the middle. If everything is fine, is balanced, and you are in charge of how the arrows are moving, right? Like what kind of time is being shown. There are like 2 or 3 arrows that you have moving on, and as soon as you get off balance, you kind of get thrown into one of the arms, right? It's called the arm, the hand. Yeah, I think it's called the arms of the clock. So you get into one of the arms of the clock, and you start moving with the arm because it's moving, right? And immediately you lose control over the situation. So you go wherever it takes you, right? And this kind of whirlpool situation starts, that is kind of like getting worse and worse with time if you don't do anything about it. So here, the more you understand about your galactic destiny, and the more of this purple lens that you put against your life, the more information you're gonna get of why is it even in your life, this opportunity, this person, this problem, this health issue, whatever it is. And you will know what to do, how to act, how to turn it into joy, happiness, success for yourself. So you really benefit from it. For the masculines, we have the Ascending Age, and this is Knight of Wands and Page of Cups. So what I'm getting immediately is that divine masculines have a strong awareness that they've been immature so much in their life, and they don't want to do it anymore. It was fun. I mean, sometimes it was triggered by like peer pressure, and like when friends, especially guys, get together, they start like joking here and there, maybe thrashing each other and like poking at each other's weaknesses. It's all kind of sounds like good fun. Although today I was just thinking about it. I was at a party with friends where I know one of the couples, and they're great people, really, they are, and they're good for each other. I'm really happy for them, but they keep, especially the girls, keeps like poking at the guy and like trying to get at him or to put him down, and it's all supposed to be fun, of course. But I started thinking to myself, like, I know I definitely wouldn't enjoy it. I don't enjoy doing it to other people. I don't enjoy it when somebody would do it to me. But usually people know that and they don't do it anyway. But I'm just thinking, like, it got me thinking, why would even people want to do it in the first place? What's so fun about it? And I got into like through the chain of like the thinking process, the analysis, the psychology behind it. And it also creates, it's like a coping mechanism. It's a little bit deeper one, but it still is. because it's not natural to enjoy putting down another person, even if you're making a joke, even if it's a term of endearment for you, right? There's something wrong with it, for sure. And then, of course, it goes into like, how often do you do it, right? How far do you go with it? Of how, you know, like, how dangerous it is, or it's like not really, no, because maybe I'll do it like once a year, who cares? So what I see here with these cards being in reverse, and the Knight of Wands is this kind of player energy, or again, just like being driven by the moment, the daredevil energy I'm getting, not even so much with the sexual energy, but more about the, you know, when somebody dares you to do something and you're like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. That sort of idea. Also being immature with love, and kind of petty and childish with emotions and getting feelings hurt. And like I was saying, just in my example, hurting other people's feelings, that sort of thing. So now divine masculines want consciously to change this for the better. Like even they admit they don't like it about themselves. And maybe it doesn't happen as often anymore, but it still does. And even if they don't show it publicly, that those feelings, those emotions, they still come up and they know about it. So there is this push towards becoming more mature, where this doesn't even come up. Like you don't want to be that reactionary in the moment. For some of the DMs, it will mean changing the circle of communication. For some, it will mean more about, first at least, learning more about themselves and understanding what they want and what they don't want in this life, what makes them happy, what makes them unhappy, and why. There's like this deeper analysis. Let's get some guidance from the tarot. So what do we recommend for divine feminines for this, for putting on the purple lens? What is the way to have more of the galactic view on things? What's the advice? Wow, for once. To exercise unconditional love, to remember that you're a twin flame, to remember, and like with this card especially, I'm seeing, well, I mean, it's in this particular deck, to me, it's calling for like the spirit of the ancestors and acknowledging rituals, traditions, something that is enriching your life. So for some of you, it's if you're thinking about doing some sort of rituals to enhance your intuitive capabilities, clairsentience, clairvoyance, those kind of gift clusters, do it. This is a sign. This is definitely, it's been coming up for you because it is something that your guides, your higher power want you to do. In a wider sense, for a lot of others, it's more about remembering how this twin flame journey and your dynamic with your twin is showing you your destiny and destination. I'm even getting here, your purpose, your value, right? Like, don't dismiss it, and don't just pretend like it doesn't exist just because you cannot be with your twin just yet, in the way that you want. Acknowledge it, appreciate it, and use it as one of the ways to get that extra perspective. What advice do we have for the masculines in becoming more mature and leveling up? How to apply this new energy? Because leveling up, in this case, it's something that's already happened. That's why it says, welcome to the next ascending age. It's already there. But what's the advice? King of Swords. Yeah, stay in your truth, divine masculines. Be honest to yourself, first of all. Whenever something emotional comes up for you, reactionary, immature, remind yourself, what is the truth here? What is the truth? Right? And you can always explore, like, to me, King of Swords is like this analytical leader. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have emotions, but it's like they have the knowledge of how emotions work. What do they tell us? And how do we use, what kind of coping mechanism we develop? Like sometimes or oftentimes those emotional responses are coping mechanisms. So this is like this new energy, this ascension is giving you more keys towards that information of why it's happening and the connection between the reactions you're having now to your previous experience, down to the childhood experience, right, where it all started. Especially with guys, I mean, of course, we're talking about the energy here, so gender neutral, but if we talk about the guys, it like, you know, boys get bullied a lot more. They're supposed to have this, like with girls, whether girls are more masculine or more feminine, it's kind of okay, right? There's a much wider range of what is socially acceptable, at least, like widely. For masculines, like for men, for boys, it's a lot more about like you're supposed to show that you're like the daredevil energy. You're supposed to be brave. You're supposed to be adventurous. Want to try to do something dangerous. It's kind of like boys are so much more pushed towards that, right? So a lot of times the coping mechanisms they develop have to do with those kind of that kind of pressure from peers, from society, just in general, right? It can even come from parents. Yes, it sounds a little crazy, but it's true. So this is about staying in your analytical, wise self, where you can step back and see what that emotion is about, or at least see what kind of emotion it is, and then you can still study why do those emotions come up, what can it mean. At the very least, you can ask, for a few of you, it would mean finding a mentor who is this King of Swords. Or there will be a mentor, since you've already stepped into this new age. You will see a mentor on your way. Just don't turn them away. Somebody who will be able to help you out with these things. And not just to acknowledge certain fears and wounds that you have of why the emotions come up, but most importantly will help you reprogram yourself so that you're dealing with the same situations, like triggering situations, in a healthier way. There we go. Got my words now. Okay, last but not least, let's get the messages. First of all, from divine masculines to divine feminines. That was too many. Okay. All right. I want to get you drunk. Please give me time. I've never felt this way before. Like all of this again, call into emotions and fears. Strengths, ego, yeah, nah. Yeah, so they don't want to be in their ego space anymore. They don't want to project. They don't want to act out of what do other people do. What do those cool guys do, right? They want to be more authentic. That's a big deal. They're just asking you, feminines, to give them some time as they recalibrate this in their own head for themselves, in their own life. But if you notice changes the next time you see them, just, you know, acknowledge it at least for yourself, that it's this transformation in progress, really. Okay, from feminines we have you're right, I think so, yes, double confirmation, and there is someone else. Yeah, so divine feminines has got some things to worry about, maybe some people to worry about, take it how it resonates. Some of your friends or family could be in trouble or going through something, and you feel like you're supposed to be there for them, to help them out, to help them heal, recover, move on, or at least like almost like walk them through this bridge until they are back in safety. So yeah, for divine masculines watching, this is a confirmation for you that there is someone who that divine feminine is taking care of. And yes, whatever else you have been assuming lately, it's true. But again, don't take it personally, and remember that each of us, although we are twins, each of us have our own karma to deal with, to walk through, to the life experience to accommodate. And that's one of those, it's one of the reasons that we are actually the twins, right? We're not all the same. Our experiences are not all the same. A lot of them will be similar in nature and energy, and that's why we can understand each other so well. That's why this bonding is so natural, not just on like the pure energetic level, but even on the conscious level. Like, you've been through this, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it may look a little differently, but it's in nature, it will be similar, right? A lot of this syncs in the life events, in the destiny. But at the same time, there are also there are experiences that are very different. And that's why it becomes this part of this combined treasure, combined gifting and experience when the twins start working together on their mission. Because they each bring something different to the conversation, to the table. Apart from just being a masculine and feminine energy, right? They bring these different experiences that for a lot of reasons would be hard to put into just one person, all of it, right? But because it's spread out like that, it then becomes, when the twins get united, well, first of all, energetically, because they're so connected, when this healing, when the wounding and the healing happens, for each of these cases, for either of the twins, right? It enriches the energy field of both twins, really, because they're so connected. And also from conscious, that's energetic perspective. And from the conscious perspective, of course, there is a conversation about that, exchange of experiences, where empaths, so we can really relate, like we can really understand, can not just understand, but feel what the person is feeling. So those experiences become so real to us. And the closer we are to the person, the more open we are, the more depth we're gonna feel, right? So this becomes a common cluster then of knowledge and experience that the twins can work with within their mission. Okay, I hope this has been useful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with meridians very, very soon. Bye, everyone.